So, you've all had to read about the Roman grain trade. I'm going to guess that before you came to business school, one of the topics you didn't expect to encounter was, how did people 2,000 years ago manage to move grain to a city, to the city of Rome? And it's the question I'd like to begin today's class with, which is, why am I making you suffer through this example? Why does the Roman grain trade matter to us? Yes, sir.
Because of the extraordinary similarity between Rome back at the day where they had 1 million people and how they managed to actually accomplish something that was really hard back in the day of supplying food for 1 million people, related to other towns where not more than, I think, 10,000 were in a single.
The size of Rome, that's what you're saying? Matters? Size matters? Size matters, okay. I think that's a good point. Why does size matter in this case? What is it about the city of Rome being 1 million people that should be worth our attention?
Because the key thing was those kind of transportation was through road was not possible. About 50 kilometers, it was not feasible.
Yeah.
So through the water channel is what was most possible. So from that perspective, transportation is a big challenge.
Okay, ability to overcome the sort of logistical challenge of supply by boat, sure. What else? What else about Rome being 1 million people? Yes?
They interlinked the state with corporate interests and business interests.
Certainly one of the interesting parts of this story is the nature of state intervention, right? How the state intervenes in the market in order to affect outcomes and promote certain kinds of policies. It probably surprised you to see that the Romans had this kind of tax credit policy in order to encourage certain kinds of trade. So that's certainly true. But there's something about the fact that Rome, it's about the size of Rome. We said that size matters. Why does that size matter? What can we say about the market? Well, I would submit to you that what matters here, I would submit to you that the size of Rome matters here because of its extraordinary nature and the length of time that the city of Rome was able to sustain that population. We're not talking about 100 years or 200 years. We're talking about half a millennium that the city of Rome was able to sustain itself as 1 million people, which makes it 10 times larger than any other big city that was out there, with 1 or 2 exceptions. That ability to be able to maintain such an extraordinarily large population over such an extraordinarily long period of time tells us something about the market that existed to supply the city with the food that it needed on a daily basis to survive, does it not? What kind of a market is it that we're looking at that's able to generate that kind of a result? Presume we're looking at a market that is working at optimal efficiency. Only an optimally efficient market produces that kind of extraordinarily anomalous outcome. And that's nice for us. Because what that means is that whatever the Romans did to solve for the problem of their market, it was the right answer. It was the right thing to do. History actually benchmarks us here with a right answer. We don't often get right answers in life. Here we have one. Because we don't have a city of 1 million people over 500 years if the answer is wrong. And so whatever it is that we discover today about the way in which this market functioned, we can put in our pocket the idea that this was the right thing, this was the best thing to do.